on to our next art lesson. This one is called Positive and Negative Collage. We are going to be working with positive space and negative space. So these are the following items that you are going to need in order to do this art lesson. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need some glue, preferably the white liquid glue. If you don't have white liquid glue, then a glue stick is just fine. Sharpie, your oil pastels with your plate. And then you are going to need your 3 strips of blue paper. These were handed out back in November. So you have 3 strips of blue paper. Maybe you had 4 actually. You might have gotten 4, 3 or 4. And then a very large piece of light green construction paper. Grab those materials, come on back, and I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do and show you some samples, and then we're going to get started. Ready, Joe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here's Joe. He is in his workstation. Hey there. And before we get started, I'm always going to be going over those things that I want you to keep in mind in order to have a positive experience. So try your best. If you get frustrated, take a deep breath, count to 10, shake it out, maybe take a 5-minute break, come on back and persevere, keep going. Your artwork is going to be your artwork, and it'll only look like yours and no one else's. So we're all going to have our own unique, different artwork, even though we're working on the same concept. And remember that we're not striving for perfection. We are striving for effort and having a good time. Okay? So keep those things in mind, and we will have a good lesson together. All right, so positive and negative space. Check this out. All right, see that? All that was used to create this this butterfly are black and white colors, okay? So positive and negative space share the same edges. They actually touch. So if this is the positive space, then this black area would be the negative space. And then this would be the positive space, and this would be the negative space. This would be the positive space, and so forth. So positive and negative spaces, they touch each other. They share the same edges. So we're going to be designing an example of this. This right here is a butterfly. I'm going to show you a couple other ones that I found to be pretty cool. Wow, that's pretty cool, huh? I'm going to just pass them over to Joey after I show you guys. And just take a look at them, just using positive and negative space here. Some zebras. All this artist did was use some circles and oval type shapes to create this one. You guys know this sign right here. Yin and yang. Positive and negative space. Here's another cool example. Simple shapes, just some circles and some triangles or diamonds. Here's another one. That one's pretty cool. See how in the middle it just kind of opens up and reminds me of a flower. Okay, so these are examples for you. Now I'm going to show you an example of what this lesson is going to kind of look like, okay? So we're going to be creating something similar to this, but using the light green paper and the dark blue paper, okay? So here is my example, okay? And what I added that was suggested for this lesson to finish this off was some color. I used oil pastels to design some color to it and to just make it a little bit more unique, okay? So we're going to be adding oil pastels to our positive and negative space art composition, okay?
Okay.
So let's get started. This is fairly easy, this concept, to a degree. There is a little bit of a tricky part because we are going to be really focusing on mirror images. And when we do the mirror image, while we're gluing, if we glue on the wrong side, we can make it so it's not actually a mirror image. Okay, so check it out. I have my positive space here and my negative space here. I'm just going to say the positive is the light green, the negative is the dark blue. When I swap over here to my mirror image, the positive space is the blue and the negative space is the green, okay, if I were to label them. So the mirror image means you flip it. So green, blue, flip it, blue, green. So that's what we're gonna be doing. All right, grab your blue paper, just one of them, and you need to fold it in half, lengthwise, very, very well. You need to be very, very precise. Maybe the word well wasn't quite the right word, precise. So you need to line up the edges on the top, the edges on the side, and the edges on the bottom so that it folds very precisely down the middle. Notice I didn't use the word perfectly down the middle, just precisely down the middle. You want it to get as in half as possible, okay? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your scissors, and if you look here, this is important, here's where the fold is. You are going to be cutting where the paper still is intact, not where it opens, but where it's intact, okay? So fold there, and this is where we're gonna be cutting. So pinch the fold, and now what you're gonna be doing is just cutting real basic shapes. But know this, if I wanna do a heart, I'm only going to do half of the heart. If I wanna do a triangle, I'm only gonna do half of it, and so forth. We are also gonna be cutting non-geometric shapes. So here's a geometric shape right here, a heart, right? Or a triangle. Here is a non-geometric shape, a butterfly, or something like this, or something like this, okay? So we're gonna be doing both. We're gonna be doing big shapes and little shapes. So I want you to focus on that. Geometric and non-geometric, big shapes and smaller shapes. So go ahead and grab your scissors, Joe, and let's start at the very edge and then decide what you want to do. Do you want to do a geometric shape or a non-geometric shape, Joey?
Geometric shape.
What do you think you're going to do?
Square.
A square? Okay, so Joey's going to start with a square. I'll start with a circle. You go ahead. Oh, maybe an oval. I'm going to do an oval. And mine, I decided that it's going to be kind of long going out of the paper. Okay, now you need to put this paper right next to it, okay? Keep it in order. Okay, now how about a non-geometric shape? You want to just kind of go?
Yeah, sure.
See how your arm, what your hand does? Okay, just kind of do a nonsensical, whatever you want it to look like, or maybe it could even represent an animal like a butterfly or something. Okay, so once you've cut that shape, here's mine, put it off to the side as well. So we're keeping track, okay? It's really important.
Should I make it bigger?
No. No, you're doing great. Can you keep them in track, in order? Okay, awesome. All right, do another one. I'll do a heart this time to show you guys. So I'm only doing half of the heart. Just like this. Might be easier for you to recognize it like this, half of a heart. And then I'm going to put it off to the side. So I have 3. And I'm going to try to do maybe 1 or 2 more. What do you think? What you've gotten 4? Do 1 more, Joey. Okay, just go all the way down your paper, okay? So maybe I'll do a skinny rectangle here. And then I'll fit another shape. And I'm keeping it all together. And then maybe a non-geometric shape here. You can get really creative with how you want your shapes to be. Okay. So that was my last one. So let's look down the line, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of my shapes here. Okay, I'm gonna lift it up so you can see. I'm gonna line them up because I wanna keep them in order. Okay, so I have them all in order. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my blue paper, this blue paper right here, and I'm going to cut down the middle where your fold is. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's no big deal.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead. Can I show him? You did? So Joey goes, oh my gosh, the top of it got cut off. That's okay. It's still gonna work. Okay. So go ahead and cut right down the middle on your fold. Very precisely on your fold. Okay. Cut it all the way. Very precisely right down your fold, please. As well as you can. And the last one here. Okay, so now I have my 2 pieces of paper. Now I'm gonna cut each of these on the fold as well. And keep them in order and right next to your paper. Okay, so I cut the first one there and cutting the second one and cut all the way down. Now, if you need to pause the video, and then once you're back with me, then go ahead and press play. So I've done 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm on to my 4th one. I'm cutting right down the middle, and my 5th one. Now I gave you extra blues. I gave you extra blue sheets of paper. We are only going to be using 2 of them. So if you feel like at any point like, I didn't want to do that, or I wish I want to do something different, you can substitute out. You can press the pause button and you can redo this section again with another piece of paper. So just note that you have to, in the end, have 2 pieces of blue paper that you're going to use. So I'm going to use this one. Now I'm going to move this over to the side, and I'm going to take my edge here and I'm going to position it over to the left. Everyone do that. So take one and position it over to the left. And then I'm going to take the other one and go all the way to the right. I'm going to show you. I'm going to lift up the camera so you can see. Okay, one's to the left and one's all the way to the right. And they're mirror images the way I've opened it. So all the way to the left is my straight edge right here. Here, I'm gonna lift this up better. Okay, to my left is the straight edge here. To my right is the straight edge here. And everything that's opened is facing into my composition. Now I'm gonna take my papers that I cut and I'm gonna line them up opposite. Opposite. And then the other one's gonna go over here. Okay. Hang on. Wait a sec. Okay. Opposite. And the other one's gonna go over here. Opposite. And the other one's gonna go over here.
What do I do with this?
Opposite. And go over here. Hang on, Joey. Let me see if I can help you with that. Opposite and here. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Joey has a question. I'm going to come over to him. Okay, let me see. Where? Kind of confused. Where is the inside of that? Oh, no, you can't. You can't get rid of anything.
Get rid of anything.
Yeah. Where did this come from?
Down here.
Yeah, so this would have been what, like that or something?
This.
Oh, no, you can't. Yeah. So Joey, go ahead and just grab another blue and start and do another one. And when you're cutting it, don't go off the edge. Okay? We're going to be doing this twice anyway. So go ahead and do another one. Okay, so Joey used his practice one up, and he's going to join us again while we're doing the second blue. And we're going to try, when we're doing this, Joey, we're going to try to have shapes going, look here, guys. I have some of my shapes that are really, really big, and then some, and they go way far out, and then I have some shapes that are a little bit on the smaller side, and then shapes that don't go too far out. And then shapes that are teeny tiny, and then shapes that go out even more. Okay, so I'm doing, oh, that was upside down for me. So I'm doing shapes of all different sizes and geometric, non-geometric, Okay, so this is where we are now. If you need to use a different piece of your blue paper, dark blue paper, and you need to do it again, press the pause button and go ahead and do it again and then press play again. And this is where we will be, right here. I have it set up on my left, and then my right is the exact mirror image, okay? So if you see here, it goes green, blue, and then over here it goes blue, green. Green, blue, blue, green, green, blue, blue, green, green, blue, blue, green, and last one, green, blue, blue, green, okay? So now we're gonna do it all over again. Take another blue paper, and you're gonna really need to, I just had an idea actually. We can fold it because we're in the middle of it. So go ahead and fold your blue paper, and then we're gonna put it to the side and we're gonna actually start gluing so things don't get all crazy on your paper. So we folded the blue paper again. Go ahead and put it off to the side. We're gonna start over here on the left, and you are going to get your glue out. You have your glue, open it up. Okay, get any gooky stuff off. If you don't have liquid glue, then go ahead and use a glue stick. And you're going to take your glue, you're going to take the piece of paper here that's on the left, and you're going to turn it over and flip it. You're going to put the glue all over. This is the back. And you're going to remember, a little bit of glue goes a long, long way. Flip it over. And I'm going to make sure I get glue on every single corner. So I'll show you where I am. I flipped my blue piece of paper over, and when I flip it over, now my images are going the same way. So I know for sure I flipped it over the right way. So really pay attention to what I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, when you go to glue it, it could be backwards. So the straight edge is facing towards the middle of your paper. And now you can see these images are the same. They're no longer mirror images, okay? Now that I have the glue all over, and I didn't use a crazy amount of glue, just a little bit, but I hit all the edges. Now I can flip it over and glue it down as precisely on the edge of my green paper as possible. You guys are now to a part in your life where your fine motor skills are getting pretty sharp, and I know you guys can get this piece of blue paper to the edge. So look, I've gotten it to the edge here, I've gotten it to the edge here, and all the way around. And this glue doesn't dry super quickly, so I can shift around a little bit if I need to. If you have any glue squeezing out, grab a tissue and go ahead and wipe it off. And then we're gonna glue each piece going down. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna flip it. So flip it. So now it's the same exact positioning. And we're gonna glue. Make sure the glue goes all the way to the edges. And then you're gonna flip it again. And now it's the mirror image. Okay, here's my mirror image. I'm gonna flip it to put the glue on. And your glue needs to really go to the edges, but not squeeze out. So a little bit of glue goes a long way. Ah! Look what I did. That's okay. And flip it. I'm gonna go get a tissue for me and Joey. Oh, here's one. Okay. That's all right. It happens. All right, so Joey's joining us. He's back with us. Awesome. Good job, good job, good job. And where's this guy? It's got to be the mirror. No, that's not it. Nope. Find it. Which one's the mirror? You got it? Okay. So now, Joey, what we're doing is we are making sure when we glue that we flip it over and that we put the glue on the back. And then we're gonna line it up right here, okay? All right, I'm gonna keep gluing, and Joey, we're using a tiny bit of glue, but we're going all the way around the perimeter of everything so we get all the edges glued down. It'll look nice and sharp that way. And I'm gonna flip it, and now I've made my heart using positive and negative space. Okay, flip it. Once I'm done with the left-hand side, I'm going to flip it over and do the right-hand side with the gluing, and then we're going to do the next part of the cutting. All right, going down to my last part right here, I'm going to go all the way around. All right, good job, Joey. And flip it. And my positive and my negative spaces are touching all the way down, and they're totally glued down here on the left. So here I'm done gluing down, and now I'm going to venture over to the far, far right, and I'm going to do the same exact thing gluing down on the right hand side. I'm going to flip it, put the glue all the way to the edge, but just a teeny tiny bit. Make sure you flip it, Joe. I'm gonna go all the way around the perimeter. I'm gonna hug the edge as much as I can, but not too much so that I don't get the glue squeezing out of my edges when I flip it over. But now that's nice and even. I'm gonna come over here to the edge again, like I was telling you earlier. You guys, your fine motor skills are to the point where I know you can do this, where you can get to the very edge from the top and the side and the bottom. And this glue is not dry yet, so you can wiggle it around a little bit if you're not on the edges. I'm gonna really try to be precise. Okay. All right, cool, very cool. Now we're going to take our cutouts here, and we're gonna flip it again and put the glue on. And just work your way all the way down. Once we're done doing the glue, then we're going to do our second strip of blue paper. If you focused on only geometric shapes on this first one, then I'd like you to try some non-geometric shapes on this next one. If you focused only on non-geometric shapes, I want you to try to add a few geometric shapes in the mix for the next one. All right. Then we are ready to start our second strip of blue paper. I'm just wrapping up the last of it. If you're not with me, that's okay. Just press the pause button until you are totally done gluing both the left and the right outer strips. And then we're gonna do 2 strips in the middle, okay? So I have my left and my right all glued down, and they are mirror images of each other. And then the next part we're gonna do here, I'll show you my practice here. I have the next sheet that's gonna go right in the middle, my next blue strip that I'm gonna create. So in total, we'll use 2 blue strips. You have more than 2 in case you mess up, or if you're practicing and you wanna do something different and you decide, oh, I didn't like that one, you have extra ones. Okay, so I'm gonna just start, I'm gonna do a combination of geometric and non-geometric shapes, a different combination of sizes and everything like that. All right. So everyone's just kind of getting creative here with their own shapes, how they want to do it. Remember to cut where the fold is, just to remind you, we're cutting where the fold is, and then we're keeping our shapes that we cut out to the side. So here's my fold, I'm cutting on my fold, okay? And I'm gonna do some shapes that are coming out towards the edge, and then some that aren't coming out as much. Just kind of doing a variety. So this is my next shape coming out. This one. There's my next one. So that one was a non-geometric shape. I think I'll go to a geometric shape now. I can do a triangle. Okay, so Joey, I noticed that you stuck with some pretty geometric shapes and some pretty angular ones. In this one, why don't you add some, maybe some curves to it?
Okay.
But that's just a suggestion.
Oh, okay.
So I shouldn't say why don't you. If you want to, how about that? Because I really do want your guys' art to be your own. Okay, I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do another shape over here. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's my last shape. I did a pretty funky one. So, here are mine. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Now I'm going to open up my blue paper and we're going to just follow the same exact steps. I'm going to start and cut right down the center on my fold as precisely as I can. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut again. All the way. I'm taking my time because I'm trying to be precise. All right. And last one. I'm going to cut that open. Now I have my open shapes there. And I'm going to move it a little bit this way. And now I'm going to start doing my cutouts. I'm going to cut them out right down the middle. Okay, there's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Oh, that kind of looks like a bat to me. Here's 4. I did some triangles. And here's 5. This looks like a splatter of paint. Or maybe like someone dancing. Okay, so I have everything cut in half, and now I have to separate it. But you know what? I'm kind of looking at this, and I'm seeing that these are kind of similar. So I can flip it if I want. I can go like this, and make that be on the bottom, and make this be on the top, like that, if I want. Or I can flip it back again. It's really up to you how you want to do it. I think I'm going to have that be at the top. So now I'm going to separate them. So I'm going to leave that one here. I'm going to shift these shapes into the center. Don't lose your shapes, your cutouts. Shift them into the center. And now I'm going to lay the other one on this side. Now it's time to match. Uh-oh. I told you how I was going to flip them. I now have to flip my cutouts. So hang on a second. These guys go up here. Then my triangles are next. Got to make sure everything goes in the right spot. Then these little squiggly guys. Okay, I got to line everything up. So I'm lining it all up, and then I can start gluing, okay? Okay, so just make sure, okay, these shapes go with this one. These 2 shapes go with this one. These 2 shapes go with this one. These 2 shapes go with this one, and my last set go with that one. So I'm lined up. Now I have to do my mirror image lineup. So line up your mirror images. Okay, line them all up. How was that? Like that? No? Like that? Yeah, there we go. Gotta line them up correctly. Okay, line them up. Okay, make sure they're mirror images. That can be a little tricky, okay? If you need help, if you're like, gosh, I don't know if I'm lining them up correctly, go get an adult in your house and say, can you just check this real quick before I start gluing it? Because my eyes are doing tricks on me. Sometimes our eyes are like, wait a minute. So if you need an adult to check it out before you start gluing, ask them, can you come on over and check this out? I'm doing positive and negative spaces, mirror images, and have them check it out for you. Once you have everything, that's really cool, Joey. Once you have everything ready to go, then it's time to start gluing again. So same exact process, flip it over. Now, once we have this all done, we are going to be done with the cutting and the gluing. And then we're going to get out our oil pastels and we're just going to start designing around, okay? Just adding some color and texture to our piece. And here, you kind of decide on the spacing from here to here. I'm kind of making them evenly spaced. That's really up to you how much spacing you'd like to allow. And I have it all the way up to my top. I'm trying to touch my edge to the top there and my edge to the bottom down here. Then I'm gonna just start gluing, flipping and gluing my mirror images all the way through. If you need to pause the video at any point, pause it and come on back and join me because we are about to just kind of wrap it up here. I'm gonna be using our Sharpie to write our name as well. Oops, make sure you flip it correctly. How are you doing with the flipping, Joey? I think that's the part that's going to be the most challenging. You're doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. What do you think of this lesson?
It's good.
Is it kind of a cool one?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of images on the internet with the black and white, negative and positive spaces. I'm going to ask that they get those images that I showed you. I'm going to ask that they be put on Google Classroom for you to view. I did it again. I dropped it. Man, that's all right. Are you needing any tissue or anything like that, Joey? Are you good? Anything squeezing out?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Make sure you get all the edges. You're going around the perimeter. Can't say it enough. A little bit of glue goes a long way. I know you guys can do this though. Okay. Make sure when you're gluing the second piece down that it is in fact going the right way. So make sure that it's the same image that's across from it when you glue it down. And you haven't flipped it over. And the top's on the bottom and the bottom's on the top. Okay, so like I said, pause the video if you're still working on this. I'm just about done gluing down everything. And then I'm going to be showing you, we're gonna write our name in black Sharpie and then we're going to use our oil pastels to add some color. Hang on a second, that goes that way. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I am done gluing. And I have my positive and negative spaces all filled in, and I have my mirror images. So pause the video if you need to and come on back when you're done and you've caught up to us. And the next step, the next step is what we're gonna do is in the bottom right-hand corner, you are going to write your name neatly on the light green. So I'll say it again. The bottom right-hand corner, you're gonna write your name with your black Sharpie really neatly on the light green so that it can be seen. So, really neatly. There you go, Joe. So everyone has their name on it. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna open up our oil pastels and we are going to just start doing some designing. And I'm gonna end the video here because I'm gonna let you do this on your own. So if you see here, what I did was I did some different tracing and just different designs with the oil pastels going around just to give it a little bit more flavor, a little bit more pop and all that good stuff. So I did some contour drawing around the edges. I did some shapes in the middle and coloring in. Here I did a square within this non-geometric shape here. Here I did some lines. So I just want you to use some basic lines and coloring in and just kind of be creative and go all around the shapes of your entire composition. Now, whatever you do to the right-hand side, I want you to do to the left. So what I mean by that is up here, you'll see I did yellow inside and I did pink on the outside. Then I came over here and I did pink on the outside and yellow. I did the mirror image. Green on the inside, blue on the outside. Then I popped over here and I did the exact same thing but mirror image. Blue, green. All the way down, okay? This heart looks like that heart but mirror image. This butterfly looks like this butterfly, mirror image. This shape looks like this shape, the coloring. So you're gonna continue with that concept of having it be the mirror image of one another, and you're just gonna go all throughout, just go down. I'm a systematic person in that I like to just kind of go down, 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 and then, well, when I say down, I mean down here, 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 and I just worked my way down. And then I did the middle, and I did, I'm gonna do here, 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 here. And then when you're all done, you can put your supplies away. Your name is already on it, on the bottom. And Sharpie, put your oil pastels away with your plate and put your paper clip this piece of artwork into any other finished artwork that you have to turn in at the next pickup. And can't wait to see what you guys have created. And we will see you at our next art lesson. You want to say goodbye?
Bye.
All right. Can't wait to see everyone's art.